Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun, Shows World. Welcome to Shows World, gamers. Josh here, and as this week draws to a close, I wanted to take a moment to look at this week's new game releases, gaming announcements, and a few news stories. If this is your first time on the channel, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button to join in on the fun. Alright gamers, as always, we'll start off with this week's new game releases. Atomic Heart released this week on the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, PC, Xbox One, and Xbox Series systems, including a day one release on Game Pass. We did play this retro future 1950s Soviet Union set first-person shooter here on the channel, so I will link our video covering the first about 35 minutes and my initial thoughts, so check out that video at the end of this video. Metroid Prime Remaster received a shadow drop digitally during Nintendo's latest Nintendo Direct. This week, we finally received the physical edition of the very first-person entry in the Metroid universe, and it is an absolute must-play for every Switch owner. Kirbys Return to Dreamland Deluxe released today on the Nintendo Switch and is a remake of the Wii game, but with some added content and some really bright, vibrant visuals. This title returns the series back to the side-scrolling adventure style game after last year's 3D Kirby and the Forgotten Land game. Octopath Traveler 2 released this week, the series that really introduced us to that HD 2D graphic style. The Square Enix RPG is out now on Nintendo Switch, PC, PlayStation 4, and PlayStation 5. This is another game we played here on the channel, so check out the video linked at the end of this one for more info on this awesome JRPG game. Now the PSVR 2 also released this week with something like 50 new games. The big flagship launch title was Horizon Call of the Mountain, but there is also a ton of other titles to choose from, including VR modes in games like Resident Evil Village and Gran Turismo 7. There's also standalone VR experiences like Tentacular, Switchback, and Pistol Whip. There's a little bit of everything, so if you got a PSVR 2 this week, there's definitely a ton of games to play. Next up, let's take a look at some gaming announcements. Now, a game called Punch Club 2 Fast Forward received an announcement trailer. The indie fighting / management style game looks pretty interesting, and it's coming to PC, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series systems. I'm going to keep my eye on this game. I'm actually pretty interested in seeing how this turns out. Also, we did get an announcement and then a subsequent release of a really fun looking crossover for Minecraft, this time with Mega Man X. Skins, music, levels, and bosses from the Mega Man X series are playable in single and multiplayer in this really cool looking DLC update for Minecraft. UFO Robot Grendizer, The Feast of the Wolves received a reveal trailer. The mech action game, based on a 1975 Japanese manga, is scheduled to release on the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series systems, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and on PC via Steam in Q4 of 2023. We also received an announcement that a Resident Evil 4 VR version for the upcoming Resident Evil 4 remake is in development for the newly released PlayStation VR 2. It sounds like it may not be ready by the March 24th release date of Resident Evil 4 remake, but I expect a demo may be ready at that time, and it sounds like this will be a free update. Alright gamers, let's finish up with a few news stories from this week in gaming. Now, we got a huge leak early in the week as somebody got a hold of the art book that will come out around the release of The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. The leaker subsequently uploaded a ton of pages from the art book, which gave us a first look at many characters and locations from the game, including what appears to be some major story spoilers. We also got the announcement for a Pokemon Presents event next week on February 27th. This didn't come as too big of a surprise as this is Pokemon Day, but the question becomes, what will we see? I expect info on DLC for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, a release of a classic Pokemon game on Nintendo Switch Online, probably the Game Boy trading card game, or maybe the Pokemon Stadium games. I'm sure we will get some mobile stuff. I expect a teaser for a big holiday Pokemon game for later this year, and I'm hoping for more info on mainline classics coming to Nintendo Switch Online. Speaking of Nintendo Directs, we got an announcement for yet another specialty direct arriving the day before March 10th's Mario Day, this time to unveil the final trailer for the upcoming Super Mario Bros. Movie. The press release stated that there will be no video game news, but speculation of a new Mario Switch bundle has begun to circulate. Now, as we speculated last week, we did get the rumored PlayStation State of Play Gaming Showcase this week, showing off even more PS VR2 games coming this year, an extensive look at Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League, new Street Fighter and Resident Evil 4 info, and a few other games, but overall it was a pretty disappointing showing. Alright gamers, that concludes this week in review for the week ending on February 24th. The week started with a ton of new Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom info leaking out. Then we got word that Microsoft and Nintendo had officially finalized a deal to bring Xbox games, specifically Call of Duty, once the Activision merger is complete, to Nintendo systems for the next 10 years. And the week ended with Sony's first State of Play of the year, giving us an extended look at Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League. But let me know anything we may have missed in the comments, and thanks for joining us today, gamers. Shows World, out.